Hello and welcome back. Now, tonight we are doing a lower body Pilates session, so expect to feel some pretty decent burning going on in the muscles. Also, I think you should expect to sweat a little bit because this session is going to be hard. We want it to be hard. So same thing as usual before I get started. Make sure if you have any injuries, especially in the lower body area or the back, that you assess each exercise as you do it. If it's not okay for you or if it doesn't feel good, then stop doing the exercise, sit it out, regress to the one before, or simply don't continue with the activity and seek advice from a health professional before you continue. Now, as usual with Pilates, we don't work through joint pain or any pain within the skeletal system. What we want to feel is pain in the muscles. We are going to feel some burning in the muscles tonight, and that's a good thing. If you do feel like the pain in the muscle is different, so if it feels like a tear or something has happened, make sure you stop. Don't work through that sort of agonizing pain. And again, just remove yourself from the activity and seek advice before you continue. If you haven't already, check out my Pilates fundamentals video, the first video I uploaded, so that when I'm speaking all my Pilates jargon, you understand what I'm talking about. I will go through it at the start of each video real quick just to catch everyone up. So let's not waste any more time. Let's start lying on the mat. Again, always making sure we are very particular with the way we set ourselves up. So we want a straight line running from the middle toe, through the knee, through the bony part of the hip, all the way through the body to the crown of the head. So just making sure everything is aligned and in a straight line. Getting the spine in a neutral position. So remember, neutral is the comfortable curve in the lower back. We do go into imprinted spine with Pilates. I'll explain that as we get into it or as we go through that exercise. We want to bring our fingertips to the bony part of the front of our hip, the ASIS, and we're going to identify our T-zone. Again, T-zone, if you aren't aware, is an imaginary line we draw on our hips. So we've got our horizontal line between the bony part of the hip at the front, and the vertical line going from that horizontal line down to the pubic bone. So this is the T-zone, and this is what I will refer to for every single exercise in Pilates. And it's basically our main focal point. So with the T-zone, let's do some activation warming up for the T-zone. So fingertips just inside the bony part of the hip there, feeling for the activation. We're going to draw the line between our hips down towards the ground, so the horizontal line of that T. Okay, another cue you can think of or you can use in your head is imagine you're doing up a pair of jeans. Okay, we really squeeze this muscle tight to try and get that button done up. So desperately, we love these jeans. Or if you walk into cold water, generally this is what will tense up. So think about those muscles. Drawing the line towards the ground. Now let's include the pelvic floor. So drawing that horizontal line down to the ground, and imagine you're holding an away at the same time. So that's drawing up the vertical line of T. And release. And let's activate. So drawing the line between the fingertips down, as well as that vertical line up. Imagine you're trying to hold in a wee. And release. And T-zone on. And release. And T-zone on. And release. Just warming it up. Now remember, it's not a very hard activation. We only want about 50% of your maximum effort. So I don't want you to be sort of tucking and hunching and really straining through the body. Moving on to the breath, so we're going to switch the T-zone on lightly now. Start breathing into the chest, feeling the ribs. Keeping the stomach flat so it can remain engaged. In through the nose, out through the nose, or the mouth. Let's do a couple more breaths, just getting the breath active or moving to the right area. Think shoulder blades down and back, head and neck in a neutral position. So chin is lightly tucked. Imagine someone's pulling the crown of your head towards the wall behind you. And we're going to get started with our warm-up. So we're going to do bent knee fallout for our warm-up. We won't hold this for too long. We just want to get the muscles and the brain talking. So we inhale, activate the T-zone. Exhale, let the right leg fall away from the center. Inhale to draw back, changing sides. Exhale, let the left leg fall away. Inhale, draw the leg back, changing sides again. Exhale, right leg falls away from the center. Inhale to return. Changing sides again. Exhale to fall away. And inhale to return. Continue with that. while I talk you through the concentration points. All right, so as this leg falls away, make sure that we've got weight in the trailing hip. What I mean by that is both hips should be evenly weighted throughout the movement. If you lose a T-zone, you're going to start rocking from side to side and this hip's going to peel away. So it's really important to feel for the different weights between the hips and the ground. So that's a really good indicator as to whether or not your T-zone is working. So if it starts to slip out or if you start to sort of fatigue, take a rest at the top, take a few breaths, relax, and then go back into it and really get that brain talking to those muscles, get them active through movement. It's one thing being able to switch them on, it's another thing being able to keep them switched on while you're doing something. So let's do one more each side. Exhaling as we fall away. Inhale as we draw in. Now we're going to go into lift foot straight away and then we're going to get past our warm-up. This is our warm-up. We always warm up at the start, not for the muscles but for the brain. So we inhale as we lift the right foot up from the ground, making sure the T-zone's engaged. Exhale to lower the foot, changing sides. Inhale to lift, exhale to lower. Each time reset the T-zone. Think T-zone. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower, T-zone. Inhale, lift. Changing sides each time. This way we're sort of keeping it a little bit variable and the body has to guess. So the body has to reset itself each time we lift the foot. Now really focus on the even weight in the hips. So keeping the hips nice and still. Keep the T-zone active and working hard. Shoulder blades down and back. We'll just do one more here. And we'll finish up on this leg. Now we're going to imprint the spine. So with the imprinted spine, we activate the muscles above the lower back. By activate, what I mean is I want you to tense and imagine that you are trying to suction cap your back to the ground. I don't want you to tuck, there's no tucking, and there's no 100% activation here. All it is a light activation in bracing the lower back so that we can float our legs up into tabletop position. So what we do, the reason we do that imprinted spine is so that when we're up here, we're not hanging from the lower back. It just takes the core out of it, turns it all into hips and lower back, and that's not what we want. So, imprinted spine, pulling the lower back down in towards the mat. Our knees are directly above our hips and our shin is parallel to the ground. We're going to go into toe taps. So again, we can hold here to make sure the activation is on. We're going to inhale, T-zone, exhale, slowly lower the right foot down to the mat, tapping gently. Inhale, to lift back to tabletop. Changing sides, exhale, lower the left leg down. Inhale, draw back up. Changing sides again, exhale to lower the right leg. Inhale to draw back to our starting position. Let's keep going with that. Changing sides each time. I want you to think about trying to pull your thigh bone into the hip. So what this does is activates our deep hip rotators right down in the middle or in the sort of inside of our hips. And it actually gets the hip rotators working a little bit more as opposed to always sort of relying on those big ropey hip flexors, which it's great to strengthen hip flexors, but hip rotators are also really important. It's great to try and get them working when we can. So when we lower down, think rib to hip connection, keep that active. Don't let the lower back come up. We're going to try and keep the lower back married to the mat. Exhale as we lower down, using the exhale breath to activate that core, keeping the T-zone tight as well through the whole movement. On the inhale as we come back up as well. If you need to, lower the legs and rest between. Let's do a couple more, keeping the trailing leg nice and still. Alright, so we should be nice and warm through our core now. Our body and brain should be talking well. Let's lower the legs down. We're going to go straight into a pelvic curl. We're going to do a pelvic curl series, getting into the back part of the legs or glutes, hamstrings, calves. We're going to be using all of them, a little bit of lower back as well, which is fine. Hands down by our sides. Feet are again in line, and make sure that your knees are at about 90 degrees. We're going to take an inhale breath. T-zone. On the exhale, tuck the hips under. We're going to curl up. One vertebrae at a time. Slow it down. Make it on purpose. Peel the spine like someone's picking up a piece of sticky tape off a table. It's that segmented and that controlled. When we get to the top, we've got a straight line from the armpit down to the knee. Reset the T-zone. Inhale. Exhale, reverse the process. Now we go upper back, then middle back. You might have to think hard about this. It's really hard to segment the spine sometimes. Tuck the hips under, keep the hips working hard all the way to the end. The last thing that touches is the tailbone. Keep squeezing, driving the heels into the mat. Keep this working, keep it working all the way to the end. The last thing that comes down is our tailbone. Inhale, T-zone, exhale. Tuck the hips under, squeeze the glutes, curling up, straight back into it. Keep the knees nice and straight, stop them from wandering out to the side. Slowly peeling up. I'll bring my arm out of the way so you can see the peel and how slow and controlled it is. What that does is make sure our glutes and hamstrings are working hard the whole time. Inhale, reset the T-zone at the top, exhale. Reverse that process. If you run out of breath, just take a quick inhale and then continue to exhale on the way down. Really working hard through that spine. Lower spine comes down, then the pelvis, then the tailbone. Let's go. Touch and go. Inhale, T-zone, exhale. Squeeze through the glutes, hamstrings, tuck the hips under, curl, peel up. Now we're going to speed it up a little bit now. Let's hold at the top, inhale, T-zone, exhale, reverse. Going a little bit faster now, mid-spine, lower spine, pelvis, tailbone. Inhale, T-zone, exhale, tuck and curl. Lower spine, mid-spine, upper spine. At the top, hold T-zone, inhale, exhale, reverse, lowering down, mid-spine, lower spine, pelvis, tailbone. One more, inhale, T-zone, exhale, curl through the hips, tucking under, squeeze the glutes, rolling up. We should really be feeling this in the glutes and hamstrings. Now let's hold the top. We're going to take an inhale breath. On the exhale, we're going to take the knees apart. On the inhale, we draw them together. Exhale to draw apart. Inhale to draw together like we did in the warm-up. Now keep the hips raised. Don't let them start to fall down. Challenge the glutes, challenge the hamstrings. Keep them working hard throughout the entire process. If you need to, bring your hands to your hips so you can feel if they're falling. If they start to fall, squeeze, re-engage. Keep breathing on the inhale, breathing on the opens. Okay, the breath doesn't matter too much as long as you are actually allocating your breath to the movement. Keep going. 2 more here, glutes are working hard, hamstrings are working hard. We shouldn't feel too much in the lower back. The T-zone will keep the pressure off the lower back. Stop at the top, inhale, breath, exhale. Let's lower down slowly under control. Keeping the knees still, everything's aligned. Excellent, now let's bring the heels a little bit closer. You might start to get cramping in the hamstrings through this one. If you do, just come out of it, have a little stretch, give yourself a little bit of a chance to recover, and then try again. Hopefully it goes away. So heels are a little bit closer this time. We're going to go into knee floats. So inhale, T-zone, exhale. Tuck the hips under, peeling up. Very slowly, 1 vertebrae at a time. We'll get to the top. Set the T-zone. Thumbs at hips if you need to make sure they're not moving. Inhale, breath. Tense or brace the left leg. Exhale, float the right leg up into a tabletop. Inhale, hold, exhale to lower, changing sides. Brace the right side. Inhale, T-zone, lifting and floating that left leg into tabletop. Exhale to lower. Changing sides again. Inhale to brace, T-zone, lift. Exhale to lower. Keep the hips up, don't let them drop. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Remember, keep the hips tucked under so we're not falling down here on the lower back. Hips tucked under. And the T-zone is nice and tight. Let's do 2 more per leg. T-zone's on. Hips are tucked under, glutes working hard, shoulder blades are down and back, away from the ears. Last one on this leg. Last one on this leg. Foot comes back down to the mat. Inhale, breath, exhale, tuck the hips under. We're curling, all the way back down. Now let's tuck the knees into the chest, give the lower back a little stretch, glutes a little stretch. We're going to go again, a little bit more to go on this series. Alright, so next one we're going to do is single leg curl up, curl down. So this one's a challenge. Again, if you do it and it's really hard, or you feel like you're not maintaining the technique, regress back to the last exercise. Now we're going to inhale, set the T-zone. We're going to float the left leg off the ground, keeping the right leg planted. You can bring it in a little bit. Now we're really focusing on the right leg here. Inhale, T-zone. Shoulder blades down and back, spine's neutral. Tuck the hips under as we exhale. Squeeze that glute and roll up. Very, very slowly till we get to the top. Inhale, T-zone. Exhale, reverse. As soon as that tailbone touches, we're going again. Exhale down, exhale down. Inhale, T-zone. Exhale, tuck the hips under, curling up. Straight away. Slow and controlled. Inhale, exhale, lower back down. Let's do one more. You should be feeling this all over the leg now. It's really working hard to compensate for that left leg missing. Exhale as we curl up. Shoulder blades down and back. Keep the hips square to the ground. Inhale, top, exhale to roll back down. I'm going to swap legs. If you want to, you can keep going on that leg. Get a real good burn out of it. Pause the video, keep going. Inhale, T-zone. Floating the right leg up this time. Exhale, tuck the hips under, curling through that left leg. Rolling up, one vertebrae at a time. Feel that left leg working hard everywhere. Inhale, set the T-zone. Exhale, reverse, so curl down. Now, as soon as we touch with that tailbone, we're going straight back up again. Inhale, set the T-zone. Exhale, tuck the hips under, curling up. Inhale, reset the T-zone, square the hips, exhale, reverse down, one more. Whole left leg is working really hard. Touch and go. Inhale, T-zone, exhale, tuck the hips under, curling up. Feel that glute working hard. Inhale, T-zone, exhale, reverse. Good work. All right, one more here. One more in pelvic curl and then we'll mix it up. All right, so feet back to neutral, knees at 90 degrees. We take an inhale breath. We exhale, squeeze the glutes, tuck the hips under, curl up, just like we did before. Now this time we're going to inhale, set the T-zone, exhale, come up onto the toes. Inhale, lower, exhale, come up onto the toes. Inhale to lower, exhale to come up onto the toes. Inhale to lower the heels, exhale to come up. Now stay on the toes, squeeze between the hips. Let's walk the toes in. Walk them in, keep the hips high, walk the toes in. Walk the toes in, drive the hips up, keep the body in a straight line. Now we're going to inhale, T-zone, exhale, lower the heels. Inhale, exhale, push up through the heels so we're on the toes. Inhale to lower, exhale to push up, feel the calves working. Inhale to lower. Exhale to push up, keep the T-zone tight. Inhale to lower. Exhale to press up. One more. Inhale. As we lower, T-zone's tight, shoulders away from ears. Exhale to press up. Now take a big inhale breath, lower the heels. Slide them away from the body. Exhale as we slowly roll back down. Whew, all right. Back body is on fire. I hope so anyway. We're going to roll over now and do our hip rotators, so our external rotators in our hips and our glutes. And then we're going to keep going into some more gross movements. So we're going to do some quad isolation movements and some hamstring stuff. So for our side lying, let's set ourselves up. Ankles, knees, hips stacked. Straight line from the toes through the ankles, hips, shoulders, crown of the head. Bottom arm is out for a pillow and we pull the waist up away from the mat. So what we want to avoid here is sinking and doing movements from the hips as opposed to from the muscle. So I'll talk about that a little bit more later. So we're pulling our waist up away from the mat. If you don't have a physical gap, it doesn't matter. We're not all built the same. Just imagine it, or just envision that your body is in a straight line and it's active. T-zone's on. We're going to do our clam lift and extend. So we take an inhale breath. Squeeze that T-zone nice and tight and lift the knee towards the ceiling. Exhale to reach and extend through the leg. So we're up in line with the body. Have a quick look. Make sure you're in a straight line. We don't want to be too far back or too far forward. Nice straight line. Inhale. Heels come back together. Exhale, lower the knee. Inhale, lift the knee. Exhale, straighten and lift through the body, through the leg. Shoulders are down and back, T-zones tight. Inhale, heels together, exhale, lower the knee. Inhale, lift, exhale, extend. Inhale, heels together, exhale to lower. Keep going through that. So we're looking for the activation in the glute med, which sits up here, just on the outside of the hip. Now to get that, we need to keep the hips still. If we start rocking and rolling while we're doing this is coming from the hips. The movement is coming from the hips and from my body as opposed to the muscle. To keep this hip still, stacked on top of the bottom, if not rolled forward just a little bit. And let's do a couple more. Exhale to reach. Inhale, heels together. Exhale to lower. Now we're going to bring that leg up. We're going to do something called bicycle. This one's a little bit technical, so we'll get the leg going, then we'll get the breathing in. Apologies for the grinding going on outside. Some things you just can't control. Alright, so we're going to bend the knee, sweep the leg forward so it mirrors the bottom leg. But we're up in line with the top hip. Then we extend the leg, flex the toes back towards the shin, and sweep back in line with the body. So point the toe, bend, sweep the leg forward, flex the toes, straighten the leg, and sweep back. We bend and sweep forward, we straighten and then sweep back. Now we inhale as we sweep forward on the bend, we exhale as we straighten and sweep back. Keep that leg up in line with the body or at the top hip, so we don't want it dropping down. Inhale to sweep forward, keep the body nice and still, T-zones nice and tight and active. Waist is pulling away from the ground, so we're not letting our body collapse. Our shoulders are down away from the ears. We're going to do a few more here, really feeling that in the glute med now. Nice work. Last one, we're going to finish there. Now we're going to bring our bottom leg out, so it's straight in line with our body. So we've got a straight line from our heel all the way through to the top of the head and the fingertips. We've got this little gap, or we've got that activation through the side body. We float the top leg up so it's in line with the hip. This one's called hot potato. Shoulder blades down and back, T-zones engaged. Use this hand in front if we need to. Now we inhale, sweep forward, tap, tap the floor with the toe. Exhale, sweep back, tap, tap. Inhale to sweep forward, tap, tap. Exhale to sweep back, tap, tap. You should be feeling this really start to burn in that little muscle on the outside of your glutes, the outside of your hip. Okay, we'll start to use it a little bit more with this one as well, within the glutes, but you should really feel it. It's really burning in that sort of pocket area. Exhale to sweep back, and remember, keep ribs to hips so we're not opening through the body. Keep the body nice and still and under control. Nice work, a couple more. Last one. And rest, bring the knee forward, stretch it out through that leg if you need to. All right, now we're going to change sides, but on our way, we're actually going to do another exercise. So this one, side leg lifts. So we're going to be working with the right leg, but the left leg is going to be probably working just as hard, if not harder, especially because we just used it. So we're going to come down to left fist comes down onto the mat, and our right leg comes out in a straight line. So we've got a straight line all the way through our body. Okay, what you want to avoid is folding over, so the hips pop back and our chest comes down towards the ground. So always think bottom hip, forward, straight line through the body. You shouldn't be able to see your shin, or you should only just be able to see your shin. If you can't see your leg altogether, you've gone too far back. Okay, if you can see your whole leg and your whole body, then you're too far forward. So just set yourselves up, shoulder blade down away from the ear. Our toe can be doing whatever we like, flexed or pointed. And we strengthen the T-zone or switch the T-zone on. Inhale, breath. Exhale to lift. Inhale to tap. Exhale to lift. Inhale to tap. So keep that bottom hip pushed forward. Really keep it working hard. Shoulder blades down and back. If you want to make it a little bit harder, don't touch the ground with that tap. So make your body keep working the whole time and take away that sort of brief little rest you get there. Now keep working hard. Keep shoulder blades down and back. Bottom hip forward. It's going to start to cramp in there. You're going to be feeling it work. So your rotators in your hip are working really hard to stabilize your leg at the moment. T-zones nice and tight. And 3, 2, 1. Relax. Now we're going to set up and start that whole sideline series on the other side. So just keep collapsing down to the ground over this side. Now let's make sure our ankles, knees and hips are stacked. We've got a straight line from our toes through our ankle, hip, shoulder, crown of the head and hand. Got about 90 degrees at the knees, so just have another look there. Make sure you've got a good bend there and you're not sort of all the way out here. Pulling up through the middle body away from the ground, T-zones nice and tight, shoulders are down and back. Doing that plan, lift and extend. Inhale as we lift that knee towards the ceiling, really using this glute to activate it. Exhale as we reach and extend out through the body. Nice straight line. Inhale, draw the heels together. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale to reach and extend through that leg. Inhale, heels together. Exhale, lower the knee. Inhale to lift. Exhale to reach and extend through the body, feeling it here. Don't let this hip start rolling. Inhale, heels together. Exhale to lower. Keep going with that. Keep that side body pulling away from the ground. Really see the activation as you extend. Shoulders are down and back. T-zones tight. Always thinking about how we can improve our technique, or if we're doing the best technique while we're moving in Pilates. Nice work. Keep it going. Try not to tense up through the body. You will start to feel it here. This muscle is small and sometimes not active or inactive. So when we start to isolate it, it's going to get upset. Reaching through, we're going to do one more here. Inhale to lift. Exhale to extend. Reaching through the body, through the leg. Inhale together, exhale to lower. Now we're going into that bicycle. So let's lift the leg, doing half of that last exercise. Keep that waist away from the mat. T-zones nice and tight. We'll do the movement and then we'll introduce the breath. So shoulder blades are down and back. Bend the knee and sweep forward. So we're mirroring the bottom leg. Then we flex the foot back, extend the leg and sweep back in line with the body, keeping this active. Point the toe, bend the knee, sweep the leg forward. Pull the toes back to the shin, straighten the leg and sweep back. So there's a few sort of different movements. We're not sort of blending it all together. Point, sweep forward and bend. Flex, straighten, sweep back. Point, bend, sweep forward. Flex, straighten, sweep back. Now we can put the breath in. Point, bend, sweep forward as we inhale. Exhale as we flex, straighten and sweep back. Inhale to pedal forward. Exhale to sweep back. Keep this active. T-zones on. Inhale as we sweep forward. Exhale. Sweeping back. Never going past the line of the body, so we don't want to be hyper or extending through the body. Inhale to sweep forward. Exhale to flex, extend and sweep back. Keep it going. Really feeling it here. I'm feeling it. This is my weak side. We generally have a weak side. This is mine. One more. Nice work. Now, bottom leg comes out in line with the body. Pull up the mat. Bottom leg's up. Bottom leg comes out in line. So we've got a nice straight line through the body again. Waist is pulling away from the mat. T-zones tight. Again, look down and make sure you're not bending too much or extending too much. We're going into hot potato now. Shoulder blades down and back, float the top leg up. We inhale, sweep forward, tap, tap. Exhale, sweep back, tap, tap. Inhale to sweep forward, tap, tap. Exhale to sweep back, tap, tap. Keep the ribs to hips connected. So when we sweep back, we use that exhale breath to keep this nice and tight. We're not extending through the body. Keep going with that. Try and keep the breath moving, or keep the breath going with the movement. Again, if you forget the breath, doesn't matter. Just really try and set the intention of doing every movement with a breath. Exhale, sweep back, tap, tap. Ribs to hips, shoulder blades down and back, T-zones tight. Really feeling it in that glute. Let's keep it up. Shoulder blades down. Let's not hunch or start to sort of tense up in the body. It's all just coming from that little glute muscle. And last one at the back. And relax. Bring that leg forward. Have a little stretch through the glute, a little massage if you need to, if you start to cramp up or tense there. Again, totally normal, everyone gets it. I still do. Alright, now coming up to the knees. Going into that side lift now. So setting our body up, or setting ourselves up so that we're aligned nicely. Right fist comes down to the mat, so it's in line with the knee. Shoot the left leg out, the toes in line with the knee and the fist. So we've got a straight line, fist, knee to toe. Bottom hip is forward. This is really important. This is key to this exercise. The bottom hip stays forward. As soon as we start to go back here, we're going to put more pressure through the arm, and the hip rotators and the deep muscles in the hips aren't really going to be doing what they need to. So bottom hip forward, shoulders down and back, top hand here for balance, and check it on the T-zone. Inhale, breath. Exhale as we lift. Inhale to tap. And keep going with that. You can breathe over 2 movements if you like. If you want to go inhale, exhale. If the breath is too fast for you, I'll leave that up to you. Remember, this is coming from the glute and from the hip. So the rest of the body is still. All we want is that little bit of raise from the hip joint. Now again, you can take away the physical touch on the ground with the toe to make it a little bit harder. Keep this hip forward, keep it working. Keep the rotator moving, or active, not moving. And you should really feel it in this bottom hip now, especially because we've activated them both. Shoulder blades down and back, keep the neck nice and neutral. T-zone stays on, keep breathing through the movement, don't hold the breath. And 3, 2, 1, rest, coming to the knees. Alright, so we're going to give our glutes a little bit of a rest for now, and we're going to move on to our quadriceps, so the front part of our thigh. This is an awesome low impact isolation movement you can do on your quads without having to use any machinery. So this is actually just a really good one to keep in your repertoire for later on if you're training at home. Just like the best way, I think, personally, you can isolate your quads out of the rest of your body without using any equipment. Alright, so we're in a kneeling position. Knees are directly below hips. Hips are directly below the shoulders. Shoulders are below the crown of the head, so always thinking alignment. So our glutes are working a little bit hard to keep us here, which is good. Our T-zone's nice and tight, our spine's neutral. We're going to bring our hands in front. We've got a few variations, I'll demonstrate them all. I get a bit shaky with this one, so forgive me if I sound like I'm losing it. Alright, so shoulder blades are down and back. Take a big inhale breath, squeeze the T-zone nice and tight. And for the inhale, so we're going to keep the inhale going as we slide or fall back like a tree. Exhale to draw ourselves back. Inhale as we fall straight like a falling tree. Exhale to bring yourself back. Now, our biggest key points with this one is the hips. Don't collapse the hips at the bottom and come back up. This is one fluid movement coming from the knees. All we're doing is flexing and extending the knees. Everything that's working around it is supporting that movement. Inhale down, exhale up. Now, obviously, the further you go back, the harder it gets for your quads. They're going to start working real hard. We can also add some weight. So we inhale as we fall back. Exhale, hands over. Inhale, hands back. Exhale to the top. Inhale to fall back. Exhale, arms open. Inhale, arms to center. Exhale, back up, shaky. Inhale to fall back. Exhale, back to the center. Just do what you want to do. If you want to add those opens or lifts, that's up to you. I'm going to keep it here. Obviously, if you're finding this really tough, don't go as far. Or you can tuck the toes under to support the knees if they're starting to get a bit sore. Remember, try not to use the feet, just keep using the quads, the thigh muscles. Keep that T-zone active, the belly active. Let's do a few more here. Shoulders stay down and back. Spine stays neutral. And one more. Nice work. Now let's just come off the knees, stretch out the legs, sort of counter that pose with a bit of a stretch and a strength or a lengthen through the legs. Alright, so that is our big quads done. Now let's move over to the hamstrings. We have done a bit of hamstrings already, but why not do some more? So we're going to do what's called a grasshopper, and then we're going to go into a double heel lift. Both of these great for hamstrings and glutes. Now, remember for our front line, it's really important still to keep the T-zone active, so pulling the belly button up away from the spine. Hands down in front for a pillow, so head is neutral, forehead can be resting down the hands or looking wherever you need to be looking to start off with. So we inhale, back T-zone, exhale, squeeze the glutes, float the thighs off the mat. So this is a hip extension, not a back extension. Coming from the hips, T-zone is tight, supporting the lower spine. We inhale, hold here, exhale to bend the knees, flex the feet, bring the heels together. Inhale to extend. Exhale, bend, flex, heels together. Inhale to extend. Exhale to bend, flex, and heels together. Keep going with that. If you start feeling it in your lower back, really focus on drawing that belly button up into the spine. Get that T-zone on. If you really start to feel it, rest, come out of it, and then go back into it again. Shoulders are down and back. Nice work, keep it up. Really challenge the thighs, try and keep them up off the mat the whole time. Alright, we're going to do one more grasshopper. Now we're going to hold here, heels together. Now I want you to squeeze your glutes as hard as you can so you can get your heels pressed up to the ceiling. On the exhale, there's not much movement, but there's a lot of activation in there. So keep that core tight, belly button pulling up into the spine. A few more here. Just keep those glutes working hard. Heels are above the knees. 2 more. And relax. Woo. I'm sweaty. Okay. We're going to do some standing work now. So let's counter that actually. Let's toes together, heels wide. Set the hips back, open through the spine. So really stretch out through the lower back. Just let the lower back sort of relax, recover from that. Glutes opening a little bit as well, just a little bit. All right, standing. We've got some standing stuff here. Now we're going to try and do some balance, single leg work, and we're going to do some double leg work for some squats. So for our squats, we are going to go heels just wider than hips. Now if you have a specific squat technique, please do that. But in general, heels a little bit wider than your hips, just a little bit, nothing out here, unless you're really limited in range. We want to just start to sort of challenging our range a little, start to challenge our range a little bit and get the muscles working, you know, the way they should be through the movement. Toes pointed out just a little bit. We're going to bring our hands in front for balance. Now I want you to draw an imaginary line down the middle of the floor, right between your feet. We're going to T-zone on, inhale, exhale, lower down. Now at the bottom of your squats, I want you to pull that line apart with your feet. Imagine you're trying to pull that line apart with your feet. Feel those glutes that we just used in the side lying, activate and work. Pull the line apart, squeeze, exhale, drive up. Inhale, T-zone, exhale, lower down. Pull that line apart with your feet, inhale, exhale, drive up. Inhale, T-zone, exhale, lower down. Pull the line apart, inhale, T-zone, exhale, drive up. Inhale, T-zone, lower down. Pull that line apart with the heels. Inhale, exhale, drive up. Let's do another one here. Inhale. Hold the bottom, pull the line apart, feel the glutes activate, exhale, drive up. Now we're going to hold over at the side. We're going to do some little holds and pulses. So set yourself up again, shoulder blades down and back, hands in front of balance. Inhale, T-zone, exhale, lower down, hold. Draw the line apart, lift, a quarter way, hold. Draw the line apart, lift, all the way up. Exhale, lower down, hold. Quarter way up, hold, all the way up. Inhale, T-zone, exhale, all the way down. Hold. Inhale, exhale, all the way up. Hold. Keep trying to pull that line apart with your heels. All the way back up. Inhale, exhale, lower all the way down. And let's do a quarter lift. Hold. Press all the way up. Inhale, T-zone, exhale, all the way down. Hold. Pull those heels apart. Separate that line in the middle. Quarter lift. Hold. All the way up. Good work. One more. Inhale, T-zone, exhale. All the way down in your range as far as you can go. Hold. Pull that line apart with the heels. Quarter lift. Hold. All the way up. Whew. I'm sweating. All right, we're going to do some calf raises now. So you don't need a step. You can do this just as hard or just as well on a flat ground. Just think about what your foot's doing and the technique as usual. So our left foot is going to be there lightly, just for balance. Our right foot is doing the work. So we're going to inhale, T-zone. This is sort of going to start working on its own, so don't focus too much. As we exhale, big toe, little toe, push up, even weight between the two. Even weight, big toe, little toe. Keep the ankle pointed forward. Don't let it roll out to the side. Balancing as well. So we lower. Big toe, little toe, even weight. Push up in a straight line, lower down. Now we're just going to keep going with this. Keep going. So not so much about reps here. Don't worry about your reps. Just think about your activation. Make sure the front of your ankle is pointing forwards all the time. And your big toe and little toe have even weight. Good work. Keep it up there. Nice work. Now see if we can get a bit more speed. So just touch and go. As soon as your heel touches the mat, go back up again. Nice work. Keep pushing. This leg is just here for balance. We're not using it at all to push up. It's all coming from the right leg. Now next one, we're going to push up and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Down, tap up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Down, tap up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Down, tap it up. Last one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax, shake the leg. Whew. All right, other side. So right leg comes in just for the balance, keeping you still and not falling over. If you need to, grab something around you to balance as well. Big toe, little toe, even weight, pushing up through that calf muscle, keeping the ankle pointed forward. Again, we don't want to be rolling out to the side, rolling to the inside. Keep everything straight and pointed forward. So push up, we lower down. Inhale the bottom T-zone, exhale, press up. If you want to keep the breath in it, which I suggest you do. Just moving through the movement now. So we're pressing up. Big toe, little toe, even. Ankle pointed forward. Keep everything aligned. Nice. Whew. Challenging the balance here with this one. Now, let's go faster. Tap up. Touch and go. So as soon as that heel touches, go straight back up again. Remember, keep that ankle pointed forward. Really focus on using all the stabilizers around your ankle to keep it traveling forward or looking forward and not rolling out like that. So keep it up, nice work. Now we're going to do those holds, up and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, down, tap, straight up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep all the weight on this left leg, tap, up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, down, tap, straight up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one, down, tap, straight up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, down and shake. Woo. Alrighty, so that is my Pilates for lower body. So if you want to, you can go through and do that twice if you really want to get a good burn through the body and through the lower leg. I'm trying to keep my videos under an hour. It's hard with Pilates, but just data and all of that kind of stuff. So to finish off, we're going to do some really nice roll downs. So we're going to start standing nice and tall. Heels below hips, hips below shoulders, head above the shoulders, right in the middle. Inhale, breath, draw the belly button to the spine. Exhale, tuck the chin to the chest. And we are going to slowly roll down. Keep the legs active around the knees, so pulling up away from the knees, and we're peeling the spine down one vertebrae at a time. So imagine with that pelvic curl, one vertebrae at a time, peeling away from an imaginary wall, lower back. Then the hips start to give. Slight bend in the knees as we start to fall. As we peel something away from that wall, let it relax and switch off. Slight bend in the knees still. Let's keep lowering until you get to the point where your hamstrings catch. And we're going to take a few breaths here. Inhale, exhale, sink and relax. Inhale, exhale, sink and relax. Take an inhale breath, draw the belly button to the spine. Exhale, bend the knees, start to slowly peel back up. Keep the knees slightly bent. First thing we do is stack the hips. Then the lower back starts to stack. Then the mid back. Then the upper back. Then the neck, blasting to come up with head knives. Take a deep breath. Let's bend the knees and slowly come to a seated position. We'll do a really just quick open up through the legs. Obviously, you can do more stretching in your own time. And I will put up a full in-depth stretching session, if not this week, then next week. So, knees bent, crown is reaching nice and tall. Inhale, exhale, fold forward over your thighs. Okay, so if you can't reach your thighs here, bend your knees more. Just keep bending your knees until you can reach your thighs with your chest. Now, take an inhale breath, grab both of your feet. Brace yourself on your left leg, so grab onto your left leg, get everything resting on your left leg. Exhale as you slide the right foot away from your body. Feel it open up in the hamstring. Keep reaching through the crown of the head, trying to straighten through the body. You can pull slightly on the toe if you want to. It can get a little bit neural, as in you'll feel that sort of electrical charge go up your body. If you do get that, don't do it. But this can be a good way to sort of open up the calf and encourage a bit of movement through that nerve. Again, if you feel any discomfort with that, don't do it. Just point the toes slightly, take it away. Keep breathing. Exhale as you try to sink a little bit further. Inhale, draw the knee back up, sitting up nice and high. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Inhale, breath, reach tall. Exhale, folding forward, grabbing onto the feet. This time we're bracing and resting on the right leg. So get the body resting on that right leg. Inhale, breath. Exhale, slide the left foot away. Trying to keep the hips folded forward. The hips are tipped forward, tilted forward. That impacts on the stretch. So remember, what your hip's doing determines what your stretch is doing. Spine nice and long. On the exhale breath, see if you can sink out a little more with that right leg and get more of a stretch out of the left. Inhale as we sit up. Okay, we'll do a little bit of a hip open. So we're going to have our right leg straight, our left leg comes over, and our foot plants on the outside of the right leg. So our foot or our toes should be next to our right knee on the outside, or as close to that as you can get. Now we're going to scoop up this left knee with our right elbow, opposite leg to opposite arm, and we're going to use that to lever our torso around, rotate, sit up tall, feel the stretch opening up in the glute or in the hip rotator on the left hip. So this one really sort of is a piriformis stretch, but depending on where you are and what angle you hit the stretch, you'll get all of your glutes, all of your glute med, glute min in that one as well. Keep the chest up nice and tall. Remember, think about what your hips are doing. Always trying to lift up through the spine, straighten through the spine. And exhale as we slowly come out of that one. Now the other option with this stretch, obviously, if you've got the range, is you can bend that bottom leg. Bend your bottom leg. You can do that, that's great, but make sure both of your hips are planted on the ground when you do it. Scooping up the knee with the opposite arm, so this time our right knee is pointed up, our left elbow scoops. We use that to lever and rotate our body around, sitting up really nice and high through the spine, feeling it through the right outer hip. Keep breathing through the stretch. And relax. Alright, thank you for coming, and I'll see you again soon.